Let's pray.
Why are we praying right away?
Why are we praying right away? I don't know. Talking to God. I don't know. Why would we do that?
Because we love him.
Oh, God, we love you. And we love your stories. Help us to not learn it, because we've all heard this story before, but help us to, I don't know, be captured by it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So today we're going to do the story of David and famous. How many of you guys know this story? You've heard this story before. No, it's okay. How many of you guys you've heard about it, but you've never actually saw the story done or read the story? Okay, good.
We watched it.
Yeah, some of us watched it at church a couple weeks ago. Right. So here we go. 1 Samuel chapter 17. You ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Okay. Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled at Succoth in Judah. They pitched camp at these places. Saul and Israelites assembled and camped in the valley of Elah and drew up their battle lines to meet the Philistines. The Philistines occupied one hill, and the Israelites occupied another hill. And what is in between two hills? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Tyler. A valley. Oh, yeah, with the valley between them. A champion named Goliath, who was from a place called Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. He was over 9 feet tall. So that's him. So I took a measuring tape and I measured from here all the way up there, and that's how tall Saul is. From here, from the stage floor. So where I'm standing, that's how much taller Goliath is than me. So I'm about 5 feet, 8 inches tall, and Goliath is 3 feet, 4 inches taller than me. So this is what I'm like. I'm like, dude, how's the air up there? Right? So Saul could stand at a basketball hoop and go like this. Not even Goliath, excuse me. Goliath could stand there at a basketball hoop and go, pfft. Yeah, that wasn't hard. I didn't even have to jump. Hey, if you want me to jump, I'll hit my head on the rim. Ow, ow, right? So Goliath is really tall. Now, David, we're not quite sure exactly how tall David is, but the story references him as a boy. So I imagine David is probably like this. Okay? So now how tall is Goliath? Okay? Now, if Saul, now I'm talking about Saul, if Saul is head and shoulders above everybody else, that would make him, so I'm going to measure myself here, that would make him, Saul was probably somewhere right about here. So Saul would have been going, hey man, what's up? Where I'd have been going, whoa, what are the clouds like up there? Man, you must be hanging out with the birds. Where Saul's like, hey, this is cool up here, isn't it? And then Goliath's like, yeah, man, this is awesome being taller than everybody else, isn't it? And Saul's like, oh, yeah, totally. All right, so Saul had a bronze helmet on his head, wore a coat of scale armor weighing 5,000 shekels, which equals 125 pounds. Now, I weigh 150 pounds, so shave off 25 pounds off of me, and imagine me hooked to the back of Saul. That's how heavy his armor was. Me, just a little bit lighter than me, right? His legs, he wore these bronze things, and he had a bronze javelin slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod. Don't ask me what that is, I don't know. And its iron point, so this thing right here, weighed 15 pounds. So his spear would have been top heavy. So if he kind of like let it go, it went boom like that. Brooke, that would have hurt your head, wouldn't it? If your head would have been there. Yeah, totally would. So Goliath is over here in the Philistine camp, and he comes out. What's up? Right? And the Israelites are over here, and they're like, Saul, go check him out, right? Because that's why they got Saul. He's impressive. He's tall. So Saul should have been, don't worry, guys. I got this. I got this. Hey, bro, what's up? All right, let's bring it on. Wait. Saul didn't do that. Goliath said, why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine? And are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he's able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome and kill him, if you overcome and kill me, we will be your subjects. So this was a way to do battle where lots of people didn't have to die. It's called single combat. So the Philistines, there's thousands of them, and instead of thousands of people fighting thousands of people and lots of people dying, they would send a champion for theirs, and then a champion from theirs. They would meet in the middle, they would duke it out, and whoever won the battle, and whoever lost the battle. So how many people would die in single combat? Only one person would die. That's way better than all of you. Yeah, like let's say you're like not very good at battle. Yeah, it's better that one person dies than everybody else dies. Interesting when you think about Jesus. Jesus was the one person that fought for our lives, right? And who died on behalf of all of us. And he actually didn't lose. He won by coming back to life. That's Easter. Yeah, take that, Satan. Oh, sorry, I was thinking about something else. So Philistine, Goliath comes out and he says, this day I defy the ranks of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other. On hearing the Philistines' words, Saul and all the Israelites were freaked out. It says it right here, dismayed and terrified. That means freaked out, okay? So Saul was the first one freaked out and all the Israelites were freaked out. So all these people didn't have a champion to send forward, and Goliath would do this. He did this for 40 days. So 40 days in a row, Goliath kept coming out, and he would thunder down the valley and say, bring it on, Israelites, come and fight me. Your God stinks. Our God is better. If I win, you're toast. If you win, I'm toast. But I think I'm going to win. Okay? So I need somebody to be Goliath, particularly somebody who's big and mean and mean. So like, so somebody who's meaner than everybody. All right, Zach Lair, come on up, Zach. Ryan, I know you're mean, but I need a little bit taller of a guy. So, all right. And Zach is kind of the opposite of mean, isn't he? Yeah, I know. All right, well, that's okay. Here you go. Here's your spear. Okay, and I know Goliath had a bigger sword than that, but that's the best I can do. Okay? Shoo. Oh, that's what you think about that. You just cut your fingers off by touching your sword. All right, so Zach, you need to look at all these people like you're going to kill them. No, you can't be smiling. No smiling. Do I need to pick somebody else, Zach? Smiling. No smiling. So you got to like this. I mean, so don't think about them looking at you. Just be like this.
He can't stop laughing.
I know, he's just funny. All right. So Goliath does this for 40 days, yells at the people, and the Israelites are... Yeah, he's taller than me. That's why I got him a little stooly thingy. All right. So meanwhile, David is hanging out in a field. I need someone to be David. Let's see here. Somebody. This is an Indiana Jones hat. Let's see. Somebody small. Carly. I know, she's a girl. I know, this is weird. All right, here we go. All right, Carly. She's a wounded bird, so leave her alone. All right. So, David, I need you to go stand over there in the field and act like you're tending sheep. Over there. Because the Israelites are on this. This is the hill. So, you're tending sheep over there, okay? So, David's three older brothers, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shema, they're in the army. So, they're hanging out with the Israelites, right? And they're the ones, oh, those three are freaked out too. Yeah? What? No. I'm losing my place. I got to focus here. So David left the flock because his dad said, hey, David, I want you to send some food to your bros. And so why don't you bring some food to him? So David got some food and brought them to the battle. So as David's coming to the battle, okay, come on, David. All right, and then stop right there on the thing. Keep coming up. Yep. Now you're hanging out. So while David is hanging out, talking to his brothers and whatever, Goliath comes out for his daily yelling. Who? No. Nice. Good job. Way to go. So Goliath comes out, taunts. You guys know what taunting is, right? Yeah. It's pestering until you finally get. So David, all the Israelites are, as Goliath is yelling, all the Israelites are like, this is what they're doing. They're like, oh, they're hurting. And David's like looking at everybody going, what is wrong with all of you guys? Now, David's three brothers, when your little brother or little sister shows up to something important, what do you guys think about that? Get out of here. Get out of here. So, but David is the only one hanging out in the army, in the camp area, that's like, why are you guys letting him do this? I'll fight him. And then somebody heard and said, oh, you know what? If you fight Goliath, you're going to get three things. The king is going to give you lots of money. You guys think that's cool or not cool? Yeah, okay. He's going to give you an awesome wife. Okay, you're a boy right now. You're pretending to be a boy, okay? So he's going to give you an awesome wife, and this is really awesome. You don't have to pay taxes for the rest of your life. Woo! Yes! That's like an instant raise. Woohoo! All right, so David's like, I don't care about that. So news travel. You got to go back home, buddy. Go back and stand on your perch. So news travels to King Saul. Listen. And Saul brings David in and David says, I'll fight Goliath. Why isn't anybody fighting Goliath? And Saul's like, but you're just a boy. I mean, look how tall Goliath is. He's been fighting since he was a little boy. And David's like, oh yeah? Well, I have killed a lion and a bear. It was attacking my sheep, and I killed a lion with my bare hands, and I killed a bear with my bare hands. Now, China, you did that earlier today, right? Bear came by your house and just went, right? And then you strangled it with your bare hands, because you do that every day, right? So yeah, like you do. So David's going, yeah, I do lions, I do bears. Goliath, what's the big deal? And Saul's like, this kid is nuts. Well, I guess, we got to send a champion. No one else is doing it. So Saul tries to give David his armor. And the armor for a real tall guy, it's probably pretty heavy. It would be like me hanging on to Carly. Oh, I don't want to. Did I hurt your arm?
No.
Oh, good. Whew. I wasn't thinking, sorry. So I'm like trying to hang, and she's like, oh. So David says, no, all I need are 5 stones and a slingshot. Saul's like, your funeral, right? So David makes his way to the valley floor. So step up here, right there. Goliath sees this tiny little boy and starts to laugh. He thunders down the valley floor. Stop. And he laughs again. Okay. Good job, Zach. You're doing awesome. So now, here is what David says. This is David's speech, okay? Now, Carly, I'm going to say it, but you just act like you're saying it, okay? Act like it's my voice, okay? You come against me with sword and spear and javelin. No, you got to look out there, okay? I'll read for it. But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of it. He's small. He's going to have a weird voice, okay? Whom you have defied. This day the Lord will hand you over to me, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. Today, I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds of the air. And the whole world will know that there's a God in Israel. All those gathered here know it's not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's. And he will give all of you into our hands. And Goliath is sharpening his sword. So now, as the Philistine moved closer to attack him, David ran quickly toward the battle line, reaching into his bag, taking out a stone, he slung it, pause. How many think that when David slingshot is he took a stone and he pulled it back like this, and then he let it rocket ship across? Right. Rubber was not invented back then. Okay? So what we think of slingshots. So David would have been known as a slinger, and you take two leather straps with a pouch on the end, you put a rock, and then you use your hand in a certain way, and then you let it go. And the people who were good at this could take that rock and almost send it as fast as a bullet. That's how good these guys were. And the history books say that they were called slingers. And the best slingers could hit a bird while they were flying. That's how good that they were. Now, we don't know how good David was. We do a little bit in a second. But I found a video online that shows somebody slinging a slinger. So you ready? It's somebody, I think it's in Scotland. So here you go. Ready? Here. Okay. He does it 2 more times. Watch it. The next one's a bullseye. Watch. Boom. And the next one, he goes wide right. So David would have slung that thing really far or really hard and then sent that thing rocketing. And where did he strike the Philistine at? Right in the forehead. Now I'm going to read you the story word for word, okay? He triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. He slung it, struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and he fell face down on the ground. Oh, you were going backwards, weren't you? Face down. Very good, very good, very good. Good thing that he didn't hit himself with that. Okay, wait. Now, grab the sword. David ran over and stood over Goliath. He took hold of the Philistine's sword, drew it from the scabbard, and he killed him. Okay? Good job. After he killed him, he cut off his head with the sword. Okay? Yep. This is not in the cartoon version of the stories. When the Philistines saw that their hero was dead, what did they do? They turned and ran. Then the men of Israel and Judah surged forward with a shout, pursued the Philistines all the way across, and they killed them all. When the Israelites returned from chasing the Philistines, they plundered their camp. David took the Philistines' head. Here you go, Miss David. Here you go. Yep. Okay. Good job. Are you okay? Okay. I know that's little red stuff is flying all over the place. David took the Philistines' head, brought it to Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, and he put the Philistines' weapon in his own tent. And all the people said, "Yeah! Woo! Way to go! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Woo! No head." All right, give David a big hand. Yay, good job, David. Thank you for taking care of yourself. Give Goliath a big hand. Way to go for falling down. All right. Okay. Who should have been fighting Goliath? Saul. So the difference is striking, isn't it? Somebody who is this tall and the leader of God's people should have been the one fighting. Instead, somebody this tall and had no skill necessarily or position. He did have some skill, didn't he? The slinger thing was pretty good. He had no position to be doing it. He just came out of nowhere. So God, it's not about how good you are, how smart you are. Who did that all? God did, exactly. God did all that. Who did David blindly trust in? God. Now, if you were David, which you guys all are probably about David's age, David came into the camp and everybody else, all the army guys, special forces, all those guys were like, dude, that's way too much. But a little guy was the one that was like, why are you guys all afraid? What's wrong with you? God's on our side. He can totally do it, right? So why do we think that we can't do anything when things are really big or whatever? Because of this 4-letter word that starts with an F. That's not what you think it is. F-E-A-R. Fear. We often, all of us, live our lives in fear. I can't tell you how many adults do this. Adults live their lives and make decisions all because we are afraid. We sometimes don't let you guys do what you want because we are. Yeah, so sometimes parents do some weird things, not because they're not smart or wise, but sometimes they do things out of fear. And you guys do the same thing too. You guys won't do something because you're afraid. Now, David's a great example of what? There used to be shirts like this that would say, no fear. There used to be a brand of t-shirts called No Fear. Remember that, Amanda? Yeah, no fear. And so David had no fear. Now, remember the story of Samuel? What is it all about, Grayson? It's about not being like Saul, but being like David. Now we're learning what David is like. David has no fear. Who does he trust in? God. He trusts in God. Saul has a lot of fear, and who does he trust in? Himself. Who do you think's gonna win out on this deal? When you start being afraid and all about yourself, you start doing some pretty wicked things, don't you? And so what Saul's gonna try to do, and the story kind of alluded to it when we watched earlier, Saul is gonna try to kill because all the people are excited about David, and they're like, about Saul. Yay, David, Saul. They're not like, boo, Saul. They're like, yay, David, you're awesome, you're amazing. Saul, okay. And what happens when people start going, Saul, but yay, David? Saul starts getting jealous and starts doing wicked things. All right, bow your heads, close your eyes. God, wow. Help us to be more like David and not like Saul. In Jesus' name? Amen. Amen. All right.